everyone, my name is Imelda Nurhalifa. We are from UBSC campus and this is my friend.
My name is Rista Kasana Maulana.
And my name is Nur Asma Rahmadani Tamim.
Hello everyone, my name is Imelda Nurhalifa and today I'd like to share my opinion about smoking should never be allowed in the campus area. I'm really excited to talk about this because I believe it's an important issue that affects many people nowadays. In my opinion, smoking in the classroom is a very bad and unplaceable habit. A classroom is a place for learning, not for smoking. It should be clean, healthy, and comfortable for all students. The reason first, smoking can harm health. The smoke contains dangerous chemicals that can cause serious disaster, such as lung cancer and heart problem. If someone smokes in the classroom, it will also affect other students through passive smoke. Second, smoking creates an unpleasant smell. The smoke can make the air dirty and make it hard to breathe. This can disturb other students and teachers while studying. Finally, smoking in the classroom shows bad discipline. Students should respect school rules and set a good example for others. Allowing smoking in the class will send the wrong message that breaking rules is acceptable. In conclusion, smoking in the classroom should never be allowed. It's dangerous, unhealthy, and disrespectful. School must keep classrooms smoke-free to protect everyone's health and create a positive learning environment.
With a student opinion on smoking in the campus area. Today I would like to talk about something that is often seen as trivial yet actually very important. The habit of smoking in the campus area. A campus is not only a place to gain knowledge but also space where our way of thinking, attitude, and chatter are shaped. Alternatively, the habit of smoking around the campus is still common. Some might say it's just for a moment or I'm outside so it's fine, but smoke knows no boundaries. It spreads through the some air the world Britney. Those who smoke may will relax, but those who don't have suffer the consequences. We also forget the clear air is right of everyone, not just for a few. As university students, we are expected to be agents of change, not repositors of harmful habit in classroom. We are taught logic and ethics, and beyond the classroom, we must live by them logically. Smoking harm health, smoking in public harms other comfort. If our entry campus were truly smoke-free, the gains will feel refreshing, the air would be light and clean, and our study environment would be more focused and healthy. This is the kind of positive change we can create together. Let us make our campus not only place for learning knowledge but also place for learning awareness and empathy, because great change often begins with small action, such as causing not smoking in the campus area. That is what like to say may we all become generation this is meaningful, healthy and blessed enough to cause what is right even it smell matters.
Hello, my name is Nur Asma Rahmadani Tamye, NIM 15250676. Okay, today I would like to express my opinion about smoking in campus area. Smoking has become a common habit among many students. Some people believe it helps them to relax on or concentrate, but in reality, smoking brings more harm than benefit. Smoking does not only affect the smoker but also the people around them through second smoke. In my opinion, smoking should be strictly prohibited in all campus areas. Our campus is a place for learning, growing, and developing our minds and bodies. Allowing smoking on campus sends the wrong message that unhealthy habits are established in educational environment. Moreover, smoking damages health. It causes serious diseases such as lung cancer, heart problems, and respiratory disorders. As students, we should protect ourselves and our friends from the dangers. A smoke-free campus practice a cleaner, than healthier, and more comfortable environment for everyone. I also believe that the university should profit counseling and support programs to help students who want to quit smoking. Instead of punishing them, we should guide them toward healthier lifestyles. To include, let us all take responsibility for creating a better learning environment. Let's support a smoke-free campus for the sake of our health, our future, and our community. Thank you very much for attention.
Hello everyone, my name is Imelda Nurhalifah, and today I'm going to explain about simple present tense. This tense is one of the most common important tense in English because we use it to talk about our daily routine, habits, and general truth. Next slide. What is simple present? The simple present tense is where it's used to describe action that happen regularly, facts, general truths, or habits. It is also used to express fixed arrangement or schedules. For example, the sun rises in the east, or I go to school every day. These are examples of actions that happen repeatedly or are always true. Next slide. There are two kinds of simple present, nominal and verbal. Let's start with the nominal form. We use it when there is no main verb and instead we use the verb to be such as am, is, or are. The structure is positive, subject plus to be plus noun, adjective or adverb. Negative, subject plus to be plus not plus noun, adjective or adverb. Question: to be plus subject plus noun, adjective or adverb plus question mark. For example, I am happy. She's beautiful. Are you tired? The next slide. Here are some examples. Positive. She's a beautiful woman. Negative. She's not a beautiful woman. Question. Is she a beautiful woman? Another example. I am happy to be with you. I'm not happy to be with you. Am I happy to be with you? So, in nominal sentence, we use to be instead of action verb. The next slide. Next, let's talk about the verbal simple present. We use this form when there is a main verb. The basic structure is positive, subject plus verb 1 plus object. Negative, subject plus do or does plus not plus verb 1. Question, do or does plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. We use do with I, you, we, they, and does with he, she, and it. For example, she's play guitar, he doesn't play football. Do they study English? Now, let's see the spelling rules for the personal singular. He, she, it. When we use the subject, the verb usually end with s, us, or s. For example, guesses, become guesses, wash become washes, watch becomes wages, go becomes goes. We add s when the verb ends in s, us, just, x, z, or o. When the verb ends with ye, if a consonant comes before the ye, we change ye in I and add s. Example, cry becomes cries, study becomes studies. But if a vowel comes before the ye, we just add s without changing it. Example, stay becomes stays, enjoy becomes enjoys. The next, there are also other verbs that just take s in the third person. For example, sing change to sings, cook change to cooks, read change to read. Example sentence. Positive. Ronaldo strikes the ball skillfully. Negative. Ronaldo does not strike the ball skillfully. Question. Does Ronaldo strike the ball skillfully? Don't forget about the verb have. We wish we when we use it with he, she, or it changes to has. Example sense. They travel to Bali every year. They do not travel to Bali every year. Do they travel to Bali every year? Don't forget about verb have. When we use it with she, he, or it changes to has. Example sense. They travel to Bali every year. They do not travel to Bali every year. Do they travel to Bali every year? Now, let's practice together. Choose the correct form of the verb. I go to school. Denada reads a magazine every day. You and I take an English course each week. That's all for my presentation about simple present tense. I hope this explanation helps you understand how to use it correctly in your daily English. Thank you for listening and have a great day. Bye bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Krista Kasarna Maulana dengan NIM 1525070. What are question words? Question words are also known as interrogative words. They are used to form questions that require more than just yes or no answer. For example, is as do you like coffee? You can say yes or no, but if it's as do you like coffee or when do you drink, you must give more information. So Vincent help us get specific and meaningful information in communication. Now let's total its word one by one. Woo. The word who is used to us about a person of the subject of our fantasy. We ask it when we want to know about someone identity or learn example. Who is he? Siapa dia? Who are you? Present. Siapa orang tuamu? Who won the game? Siapa yang memenangkan pemainnya? Who is your favorite actor? Siapa aktor favoritmu? Who is the door? Siapa yang ada di pintu? Who is that woman? Siapa yang wanita itu? Who is the president of the company? Siapakah pemimpin perusahaannya? Next. What? Apa? Next we have well. The question word is used to ask about things as object of action. Example, what is your favorite color? Apa warna favoritmu? What time is it? Sekarang jam berapa? What did you eat for breakfast? Apa yang kamu makan untuk sarapan? What is the capital of France? Apa itu kota Prancis? What are you doing this weekend? Apa rencana akhir pekan ini? What is your favorite book? Apa buku favoritmu? What are your hobbies? Apa hobimu? Next. Where? Di mana? The next one is where. This word is asked to ask about place or location. Example, where is the nearest hospital? Di mana rumah sakit terdekat? Where do you go on vacation last year? Kemana kamu pergi berlibur tahun lalu? Where are my keys? Di mana kunci-kunci saya? Where is the bedroom? Di mana kamar mandinya? Where do you work? Di mana kamu bekerja? Where do you find this book? Di mana kamu menemukan buku ini? Where is your family life? Di mana keluargamu tinggal? Next. When? Kapan? Then we have when. We ask when to ask about, for example, the day or moment something happens. Example, when is your birthday? Kapan ulang tahunmu? With you arrive in Jakarta? Kapan kamu tiba di Jakarta? We is the next train to London? Kapan kereta berikutnya ke London? Windows to movie star? Kapan filmnya dimulai? When will you finish your homework? Kapan kamu akan menyelesaikan pekerjaan rumahmu? When did you meet your best friend? Kapan kamu bertemu dengan sahabatmu? When do you usually wake up in the morning? Kapan biasanya kamu bangun pagi? Next. Why? Kenapa? The word why is asked to ask about reason or Cause we ask why when we want to understand the cause behind an action or situation. Example, do you come to the party? Kenapa kamu datang ke pesta? What are you late? Kenapa kamu terlambat? What do you cause the is university? Mengapa kamu memilih universitas ini? What do you want to learn English? Kenapa kamu ingin belajar Inggris? Why are you crying? Kenapa kamu menangis? What did she quit her job? Mengapa dia berhenti dari pekerjaannya? Why is the sky blue? Mengapa langit berwarna biru? Which yang next let's talk about which we as which when are given a quiz between two or more option. Example, which color prefer red or blue? Warna apa yang kamu pilih atau biru? Which book are you reading right now? Buku mana yang sedang kamu baca sekarang? Next. How, bagaimana? Finally, we have how. This question word asks about the way on the manner something hampers. Example, how do you bake a cup? Bagaimana cara memanggang kue? How did you learn to ride a bike? Bagaimana cara kamu belajar mengendarai sepeda? How can I improve my English skill? Bagaimana cara saya bisa meningkatkan kemampuan berbicara bahasa Inggris saya? How do you solve this math problem? Bagaimana cara menyelesaikan masalah matematika ini? Next. Thank you. Bye bye everyone.
Hello everyone, my name is Nur Asma Rahmadani Temye, and today I'm going to explain about present continuous. What is present continuous? The present continuous tense is used to describe action that are happening right now or around the moment of speaking. It can also be used to talk about temporary situation or future plans. Example of present continuous tense is I'm studying English now, or she is cooking dinner in the kitchen. Verbal continuous tense. The continuous tense is a verbal form used to express an action that is ongoing or occurring at a specific moment in the past, present, or future. This tense consists of the auxiliary verbs be I am, is, are for the present, was, were for the past, and main verb any in verb in. Process continuous tense. Present continuous tense or progressive tense is a sentence pattern used to indicate an action that is ongoing or occurring at a specific time in the past, present, or future. It is formed by using to be, I am, is, are for the present, was, will for the past, followed by a base verb with the ending in edit. Example of present continuous.
Example of present continuous tense include I'm reading a book describing an action happening now. They are playing football, another action in progress, and she is studying for her exam this week, a temporary situation. This tense is used for action happening at the moment of speaking, happening, temporary situation, and future plans. In this explain, continuous data is a type of quantitative. Quantitative, continuous data is measurable data that can take on any value with hand, a range or interval, even fractional or decimal values, and has an infinite number of variable values. Unlike discrete data, which consists of the discrete values, continuous data can be broken down into smaller, meaningful components and is often measured on a continuous scale. Conclusion. The present continuous tense is a tension pattern used to express an activity or event that is currently taking place around the present time or a definition. Future plan, the following sentences are used to summarize. Thank you.